It's Monday morning. Feels like a Sunday. It's obviously a bank holiday. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last daily video from today. I'm going to be going to once a week. Just fed up with the weather and, you know, family time and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, I'm going to just find a mount because I've got to do an interview for Sky News. So I'll find a good Wi-Fi reception and stick a plunger to the ceiling. Windscreen of that Merlot maybe. We want a farmy backdrop. So, I don't know, maybe that one. Interview done. Now, I don't know whether to put it in today's video. It's a bit long, it's like 7 minutes. I'll see how the day goes anyway. Next job now, fix the boiler because the ash auger's jammed, so we'll see what's going on with that. So this auger isn't doing anything, so I'm gonna have a look with a torch, see what's going on. Can't see anything in there, although that might jam it though when that falls off. Now I can't guarantee, but I'm guessing that is the problem. Big lump of steel. Oh well, seems to be running now. Boiler now fixed. Next job now, got to check a drain that's seems to be bubbling up. So let's move this quad out the way and then I'll get the buggy out the workshop and we'll go up there and have a look with Danny next door. Someone asked yesterday how many miles the buggy had done. Well, it's just done 3,000. I think we've had it about 20 months, so what's that, 150 a month? Not a mega amount, but it's been 150 that we've not had to walk. Or trash a car. Yeah, the water's just flowing across. See that? And then there. And off down that tram line. It's obviously a drain wrong somewhere. Some water flowing here. This could be the problem. Whatever that is flowing there. Then down there. Then it's bubbling up and flooding that all down that side. And then that field's trying to go that way as well. It's just loads of water in here.
Yellow stuff in here.
I would guess that that's the problem. What's that? 4 foot spade, 3 foot spade. Water's just bubbling up out of the trees, the embankment for the road. A bit like what it's doing at Hale Wood. Flowing round over there and just flooding the field and flooding that field next to as well. Where Danny stood there, it's floating up and it's just completely, I put green dye in, flowing and it's dropping down that pylon where there's a hole to another drain, but it can't take it all, so it's heading off down the field and then heading off into that field where the ploughs parked. Last night, Morgan, after he'd finished that field in the dark, which you're going to see now, it's about 9:45 at night. This is the last bag going in on this block, and then we've got that field to finish by the yard. We started yesterday. Sort of drying up a bit. Off they go. See that there shining? That's water. The headland is not the ideal place to be. It's in the dark. Got onto this one that we'd started the other day that was too wet. Now look, this is just how wet it is. Are beans going to grow in that? Who knows? But we wanted to get it finished so that if it does come dry enough to spray it with pre-emergence spray, the whole field's even. So it's only 5 acres, but yeah, that is all finished now. We have still got a lot more beans to do. I'll get my hair cut today as well. But I can't see that happening for a few days now. Be careful, James. We've had a bit of rain, you might get stuck. Don't worry though, I've found a solution to all this wet weather. This is it. How good is that? We just need to make some big enough now to fit over fields. What do you think, James? It's like, what are you doing, Dad? Just what are you doing? while it's not fit for any farming, I'm off to Speke Hall to have a look around with James and Clara and Charlotte, just to see the plane taking off and different things. So I'll show you a little bit of the planes in a minute, but quickly do the birthdays while I'm here. There's a funny name on there. We've got Lauren Sampson is 24, Harry Ash is 30, Stu Was, Simply Beautiful Honey is on there. Mike Oxlong, it is 32. Lizzie Warwick is 39. Annabelle Crayston, yeah, is 18. Charlie Bushell is 13. So happy birthday, everyone on there, 63,422. Anyway, here's a little bit from Speke Hall, then I've got an announcement to make. It's not a car, it's a plane. This is where you can park your private jet, James. Right, big day out at Speke Hall, watching the planes. This is the sailing club at the end of Speke Hall. This is at the old runway where it merges to the new runway around there. And also, what is that? It goes out into the Mersey. So I'd ask the audience, but it's so still today. Not a breath of wind, and you could see the plane's taking off that way, and then we walked up the hill and he started taking off this way. That's how quick it changed from being, like, obviously it's still, but like a little bit different. But look how the river's still. There's a plane coming. There's a plane coming. Here it comes, kicking up a bit of spray. Wow. I think he's more interested in loading his wellies up with mud. Just get it on the bottom of one foot and wipe it on the other one. Ready? Another plane. Here it goes. Wow. If you ever visit Speke Hall, don't forget to check out Kirby tyres on your way out. I don't know what it is, but like thousands of horsepower in an aeroplane, but I think they're cool. Yeah, bit of announcement anyway. Today I did a bit of an April Fool. I said that I was stopping doing YouTube. I had to go in as well at the beginning of this video. Of course I'm not. There is days when I think, oh, I can't really be bothered, but everyone must feel like that sometimes, maybe even on a Monday morning, going to work. But no, I enjoy doing the videos 97% of the time, I would say. There's a few times when I think, oh, but I don't know, it's habit now. And I can I've got that good, I can even edit in the shower as well. So it doesn't really take up much of my day, hopefully, unless it's been a busy day, and then it does a little bit. But GPS does help edit them. Actually, just realised while I was editing, I forgot to say thank you to everyone that did send messages of concern when I said that I might be stopping. I had some really nice ones, including one off Chris Packham, believe it or not. So yeah, it was just an April Fool. But anyway, thanks for the concern. Anyway, back to the video. That's all for today. It is actually a short video, but I am just going to put the Sky News bit at the end, just if you want to watch it. So it was me and Gareth Wynne-Jones talking about state of agriculture, really, and where we are with different things. That's all for today anyway. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow when normal business will be resumed, because it's not a bank holiday. I think there's been 4 this weekend, but I think a few hours off this afternoon, but never mind.
From Westminster to Delhi, farmers across the world have marched and even driven their tractors through some of the world's busiest cities to demand better pay and less red tape. But are they being listened to? Well, joining us now are farmers Gareth Wynne-Jones from Snowdonia and Ollie Harrison from Merseyside. Thank you both so much for making time for us this morning. I'll start with you, Gareth. Farmers' protests, good or a bad thing?
Yeah, it's been really good, in Wales especially. We've been out and we've been demonstrating the problems that we've got in the industry. Let's not forget, farmers are the last people on God's earth to go out, because we've got animals to tend to, crops to watch after and a business to run, so and to feed people as well. So when farmers go out, it's in desperation. And in Wales, we had 3 points. SFS, which is the new sustainable farming scheme, which is something that Welsh Government are bringing out. And number 2 was TB, and number 3 was NVZs, which is nitrate vulnerable zones. So all these 3 things in Wales were devolved, and that's come from the Assembly. So we've been out protesting and making sure people understand the frustrations that we have as an industry. And we're on our knees, you know, desperation, weather, prices, supermarkets, cheap imports, all these things are adding to the stress and the strain on the farmers. And mental health is at its biggest low ever. Speak with any farmer. So that's why we were out on the streets, asking questions to our governments and making sure that, you know, the public understand our problems. And let me tell you, the public have been absolutely amazing. They've been so supportive, so fabulous, and getting behind British agriculture. No farmers, no food.
Let's bring in Ollie, because whilst you were speaking then, Gareth, we were showing images of tractors crawling through the streets of Westminster, this road down here, in fact. And Ollie, you publicly said you weren't going to take part.
Yeah, well, let's just be clear, though. Wales is a lot different to England at the moment. England, we've got sort of a policy out now to replace what we had when we were in Europe with the CAP reform. So they're well behind. I think they're 3 or 4 years behind Wales. I can totally see their frustration, and things do need to change in Wales because, like I say, 3 years left behind. What I was worried about is that we don't turn into the next Just Stop Oil people. We've got a lot of respect from the public, born probably out of COVID and the supermarkets being empty and people understanding that, you know, food is very important. But we import £54 billion worth of food a year, and a lot of people are getting frustrated because that's coming in produced to lower standards than what we can produce. But equally, no government wants to see any sort of food inflation. You know, everyone's got it difficult at the moment. So I just want to make sure that we keep the public behind us. Totally, Gareth is 100% there. You know, it is so bad in, you know, Northern Ireland as well. Europe's got it pretty bad. They've come up with their sort of new ideas for farming policy going forwards and got it completely wrong, and they're going to lose production from it. But we just want to make sure that we keep the public on side with us, really. The culture in Europe's a little bit different as well. So, you know, they're very militant out there. If they want action, they just go out and do it. In the UK, we queue. You know, we queue in shops and we queue at airports and things. We're a little bit different. We get a bit more frustrated, a bit easier. I think we're not quite as laid back as the Europeans. So I'm just very careful that we don't upset people that are already grumpy anyway, because times are tough.
We're just showing our viewers on Sky some pictures of some protests in Brussels and in France as well. And like you say, they have a different tone to the ones in the UK. That much is for sure. Do you think, Ollie, that the public are as on board as you need them to be and as you'd like them to be? I think, for example, we've talked a lot about the NHS, for example. It's topics like that generally take up most of the airtime. Farmers generally come further down the pecking order, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 25, 30% of the population that understand agriculture, but then I think there's quite a big chunk that think food just comes from shops. The UK is a little bit different as well in the fact that not everyone knows a farmer or is related to one. In Europe, it's a lot different. In lots of countries throughout the world, you know, there's always someone that's got a cousin, a relative, or whatever that's farming. It's different in the UK, and that's the fine line that we've got to tread. I think nowadays the world's changed quite a lot with social media campaigns and some really good heartfelt videos from farmers. We can get the messages out there to the public and to the politicians, because let's not forget the politicians listen to the public now. You know, they don't really respond well to being pushed around. But totally get where Gareth's from. And in Europe, you know, people have just had enough. Farmers have just had enough. It is so tough. But it's not stopped raining for 10 months. It's the 1st of April today. And literally 10 months of wet weather. Our crops are ruined. It's very frustrating.
Gareth, your thoughts to Ollie's comments there?
Oh, yeah. You know, my thoughts are going to be, we've got to be careful. We've got to be careful that we don't go into food shortages in this country. Crops have failed, you know. We've got Smallenberg, we've got TB, we've got a lot of things. And while we're importing food, yeah, it's fine. But if something happens, like a war in Ukraine, or, you know, there's something that will stop the food from coming into the country, we are in trouble. You know, we're sleepwalking into food shortages, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Food security should be at the top of the list. You talk about the NHS. You know, we could save billions to the NHS by feeding the nation in a healthy, sustainable way. You know, meat, dairy, cereals, all these things. Get away from the processed food. Follow a farmer, understand what a farmer does, and, you know, get some healthy food. And it would save billions for the NHS. Obesity, diabetes, all these things are to do with food. And we can change that, build a better Britain on our bellies. And it's with the farmers that all starts, because without a farmer, you're not going to be fed. That's a fact. And people need to understand. And I've got a big social media following, you know, over 300,000 on my Facebook, 100,000 on my TikTok account, over 2 million on my YouTube account. And I have had the majority of people there supporting what we do. You know, getting behind us, wanting to understand how their food's produced and wanting to back British agriculture. But it has to be affordable, has to be sustainable, and it has to be environmentally friendly. So we need direction from government and from the people that are steering these policies, from Westminster to the Welsh Assembly. They have to understand and they have to listen to the farmers and their problems. Because I'm telling you, we are definitely sleepwalking into food shortages in the very near future if we're not careful.
Well, Gareth, you did it for yourself. Ollie, I'll do it for you. You can find Ollie on social media and on YouTube as well. He's got plenty of content of his own. Gentlemen, we really appreciate your time. We'll leave you to what I'm sure is, as ever, a busy day. Gareth, Ollie, thank you.
Thank you.